Welcome back to Sports Dump, Lewis County's only sports podcast. We are sponsored by Elam's Home Furnishings and Mattress Gallery, Goebel Septic, and Americool Heating and Cooling, and the Farm Store. And we have taken a break from reading drill tweets aloud at each other to discuss what's going on in the high school sports world. First up, there's some clarity in how the leagues are shaking out with district tournaments a week away, and a little surprising news from the Evergreen Conference Bowling Tournament. But we begin with the ongoing EvCo GSHL football merger. W.F West athletic director Tommy Elder said in a text to Zach that, quote, "I think we will have a joint statement and schedule to release very soon. We had a good meeting today." Sounds like progress, boys.
Yeah, Tommy said also, I asked him when he said, I asked him to define very soon. He said, hope by Monday. So it sounds like the meeting, I don't know if they had the meeting with the WIA with all the other districts, but if it was just, or if it was a straight EvCo Greater St. Helens League meeting today, but there appears to be steps in the right direction.
Okay, cool. Meanwhile, Centralia's plans for 2026 and 2027 are official. They're going to be a Class 2A independent program, and athletic director Tim Ahern confirmed to Zach that they will play the other 5 1A Evergreen teams. Ahern also said their path to the postseason is a top 2 finish in the Evergreen League. Thoughts?
Seems like best case scenario for them with them being left out of this merger. I mean, would you agree, Dylan?
Yeah, I think that's a good spot for them. It's still obviously they're not, I guess, officially not a member of the league, but to play, we've seen them be competitive with the likes of Elma's and Hoquiam's, and they've played Tenino and they've played Rochester recently when Rochester was in the EvCo, and I think it just makes sense to play those teams and also to have a couple still non-league games. I'm sure Swamp Cup will still happen, and then they could get a couple other. I'm sure they'll try to get a couple other 2A non-league games early, before kind of the unofficial league play gets going. But I think that's a good spot for them, and I think they, top 2 finish might be kind of tough just early thinking about Montesano and Rochester and Tenino. But I certainly think it's a clearer path than the EvCo with Chehalis and Tumwater at the top.
Yeah.
We've seen Rochester do it. That was a classification thing, but we saw Rochester where they won the Evergreen League, not this past season, but the year before, after self-admittedly playing for third for what felt like 20 years. So I think this is a good spot for them.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on to basketball in our favorite league, the C2BL. We'll start with the girls, where Napavine is on the verge of an unbeaten league season with 2 games to go. Tigers beat Rainier 61-31 on Tuesday and also picked up a key non-league win over Elam Roslyn on Friday, 60-47. Hayden Count scored a career-high 30 against the Mountaineers, while Nicole Valentine had a double-double against the Warriors. Dylan was there for Friday's tilt, and which one? That was the one where Count scored 30? Yeah, I was.
That was the Cleveland game.
Oh, okay. But that was the one where Count scored 30, though?
No, she scored 30
She's still at like 20-something.
Yeah, she had a double-double. She scored 30 against Rainier on Tuesday.
I was just shocked that she never scored 30 in a game before.
I was also surprised by that.
Yeah.
Like, of all, her entire career, she's never scored 30. I found that pretty insane.
Yeah. But how does Napavine look, Dylan?
They probably should have beat Elam Roslyn by even more. They were up almost 20 at halftime, and the first quarter they put up 24. They couldn't miss. I mean, they were hitting from everywhere. Second half comes around. I think even they'd admit that second half was pretty ugly. They were turning the ball over every other possession. It seemed like they weren't connected on as many shots. I think they had 1 field goal in the final 10 minutes of the game. But all that being said, it was not great basketball, but they still won by 13 against a Elam Roslyn team that had 2 losses going in, I think, and is probably lined up to be a top 8, if not a top 4 seed. Assuming they do as well as we expect them to at district or at their district tournament. So the fact that they could play that first half obviously kind of carried the load, but the fact that they could have a second half like that and still get a pretty comfortable victory, I think bodes very well for them. And I think Valentine coming on, and she had a double-double. She hit double figures, I think, in that Rainier game as well. I don't think she had a double-double, but she had 10 or more points. I think that's huge for them because we all know what Cal can do. We all know what Evander can do. But I think what could carry this Tigers team very far is when, whether it's Valentine or Ava Ongdong inside, or when the Faye twins, when they get going from deep, if they could have those third options outside of Count and Evander, I think that could really elevate them to another level and could take them deep, not only in districts, but in Spokane as well.
Yeah, and Elam, speaking of them as a significant state team, they are number 10 on the RPI board, 16-3. So, yeah, no slouch there.
And I think they'll play Adna.
They play Adna coming up. Yeah.
So that'll be another cool, non-league. Even Banish said himself that it'll be like a good gauge for them.
All right, let's see. Adna had an up-and-down stretch of league games, but beat Toledo 39-29 last Thursday, and then beat Mossy Rock 65-43. Riley Beebe was the leading scorer against the Riverhawks, and Cameron Freeman had a nice spark off the bench against the Vikings. Zach was at Thursday's game. Dylan saw Tuesday's game. How does Adna look?
The best part of the game on Thursday afterwards, when I was talking with Banish, he goes, everyone should get their money back for having to watch that display of basketball. That was probably the ugliest game I've seen, not only this season, but probably in the last 5 years. It was disgusting. No one could there was no flow. No one could get into any sort of rhythm. No one could buy a bucket. And I'm looking at the score. I'm like, it's like first to 35 is going to win. And that's ended up what happening. Ava Humphrey, who has really struggled from three over the last handful of games, she hit two big ones in the fourth that kind of allowed Adna to get that necessary breathing room. I think BB ended up with 12 or 13 points. But Banish straight up said they're going to run the next day of practice because he was questioning their effort for the first time all year, and that's the one thing he hasn't had to worry about with this group, and so it was kind of an eye opener. And yeah, but they still won, and that's all that matters at the end of the day.
All right, and Dylan against Toledo. Anything really stand out there?
That was against Mossy yesterday.
Mossy Rock.
They played better. I thought Mossy Rock actually played pretty well. They kept it close. I think it was a 5-point game at halftime. And then Adna just kind of that press started getting to him a little bit in that second half. Cameron Freeman hit 5 threes. Banish applauded her after, basically saying for her to come in and do what she's doing as a freshman, it's exceeded my expectations. Obviously, we have McKenna Torrey and Riley Beebe, who I think also both hit double digits yesterday. Or maybe Beebe had 8, but you know what I mean. Torrey and Beebe can score. Ava Humphrey hit another pair of threes yesterday. Cameron Freeman had 5 threes. And then you have Alyssa Carroll doing work down low. Banish even said, if we could have 4 shooters on the perimeter, and then Carroll putting in work in the post, that sets them up well. Or I mentioned this with what Napavine how they could take that next step. That's what these weeks are all about, right? Obviously teams like Napavine and Adna are competing for league titles, but also at this point, it's how can we be as good as we can, with districts right around the corner. That's kind of just the theme of for everybody right now. So I think that's another path forward for Adna as well. Not that, there's any reason to doubt them going into districts, which start next week is insane. Yeah. But yeah, I think they're in a good spot too.
All right. So the rest of the league, Onalaska's 3-1, Toledo 2-2, Tudor Lake 2-2, Rainier 1-4, Morton White Pass 1-4, Mossy Rock 0-5. Tomorrow, Thursday, big day. Napavine takes on Onalaska and Tudor Lake battles Rainier. Is it safe to say Napavine is the favorite for districts?
Right now, I'd say yeah.
Yeah.
So what was their score? What was the Adna result there?
37-34. It was close. It was yeah. It'll come down to those two. I feel pretty comfortable saying that right now. I think we'll get the second meeting for a district championship.
And then in terms of the league as a whole, obviously the records are going to be what they're going to be because you have everybody kind of beating up on each other, right? Mossy at 0-5. Even Banish after the game yesterday is Mossy's 0-5 in league, and that record on the surface doesn't look good, but they just put up a hell of a fight against Adna for 20 minutes before it kind of started going downhill.
And Mossy Rock's 0-5, but they're also 17 in RPI and 10-7 overall.
Banish, and this is a cool insight from him because this is my 3rd basketball season here, and this is Zach's second full, but he got
2 2.25.
But my point being is Banish is the one who told me, he said this is top to bottom probably the best our league has been in the last 5-10 years.
He's told me that too, and other coaches have said that too.
Yeah, so I think it's really cool to see all these teams on a nightly basis, and I think it sets up a great district tournament.
All right. Are you guys overlooking on Alaska? Is anybody overlooking on Alaska? 3-1?
I kind of was at the start, and I feel like I'm buying a little bit of stock in them.
I think Underhill had 20 yesterday.
Yeah,
Jacoby had
that's the thing.
21.
Like,
they
if
combined
they
for
can-
like 11 threes, I think.
If they can get a second consistent score behind Emily Jacoby, like they are legit because they'll, I mean, like a lot of these teams, they'll defend really well. They're not tall, so they're not going to win a lot of rebounding battles. But if you can get it, if there's a second consistent score, whether it's Underhill or Randy Haight or
we've even seen Kaya Sandridge.
Yeah, Kaya
have some chunks.
Sandridge. Yeah, so there's a path for Ani to get to potentially get to Spokane, but it kind of goes through a second score behind a second scorer.
Right.
Oh, and
Emily.
I also have to mention, I mentioned Alyssa Carroll in the post for Adna. Also, Emma Kistner had a nice night last night. She had 12 rebounds. Banish,
Banish loves singing her praises.
Yeah,
she does the dirty work for them.
Exactly. She's not going to get you. I mean, I'm sure she could go off for 20 any given night, but that's not consistently her game. But you'll take 12 rebounds any given night.
All right, moving on to the EvCo. W.F West remains in firm control of another league title. They're 7-0 and just beat Black Hills 86-52 on Tuesday. They're one away from securing an outright league championship. Joy Cushman and Izzy Teeter both had career highs with 26 and 14 points, respectively, in that Black Hills game. Zach talked to Kyle Karnofsky afterwards, and what did he have to say?
He was very happy just with the depth overall. They had 27 points off the bench, and we've talked about him and I have talked about this at kind of ad nauseum of just how deeper they're able to go, like 10, 11 on a nightly basis, and not see the production drop too much. So I mean, just their business as usual for WF West.
All right, so the team in the driver's seat to be the EvCo's number 2 is Tumwater. T-Birds used their full court press and 13 straight in the third quarter to pull away with a 71-44 win over Centralia.
Yes.
They had 4 players in double figures. Maddie Ahern led Centralia with 20 points. How did those two teams look?
It was a really slow start. I mean, it was like 5-2 for the longest time, and then Tumwater went on a 13-1 run. And then they were up 10 at one point. Centralia they never gave up. They cut it to a possession at half with an 11-3 push. But then third quarter, everything flipped. Not only the full court press, but Centralia was without senior Brooklyn Sprague. She limped off towards the end of the second quarter. And Austin Danielson, she was like, yeah, that's our glue. That's our calming presence out there. And to not have her, things spiraled out of control and they couldn't really stop it. But yeah, Tumwater is, it's not the prettiest offense, but they full court press pretty much, all the time. As long as they're not obviously in transition, they're not gonna be able to set up their press, but if they're getting buckets and they're gonna set up the press and it is aggressive. So there's reason to be optimistic, I think, for them.
Okay, moving. What do we got? Oh, barring an Aberdeen miracle of 3 straight wins. That's a miracle. That could happen.
No, it can't.
The 4 D4 2A playoff teams will be WF West, Tumwater, Black Hills, and Centralia. WF West is surely the favorite, but is there stock to be bought in any one of the other 3 teams?
I'm buying a little stock in Tumwater.
All right.
I haven't seen Tumwater, but I'll take your word for that. I don't know if I'm necessarily buying Centralia's stock to grab a state spot, but I do think they've taken a nice step forward this year just as a program. I was just looking at the standings, 11 wins overall, only 2 in league, but I feel like they've been more competitive in league games this year. I know that score kind of got out of hand a little bit against Tumwater.
But in general,
I think it's just a good step forward as a program.
All right, quick glance at the 1A and 1Bs. Tenino lost a heartbreaker to Elma, 42-39 Tuesday, but there's still a game up on Rochester for that last district spot. And the second installment of the Scatter Creek Showdown is set for Tuesday. And PL is now 5-0 in the Columbia Valley League, and Oakville is 3-3. They meet tomorrow night. This podcast brought to you by Goebel Septic, providing septic service and portable sanitation for Thurston, Lewis, Mason, Cowlitz, and Grays Harbor counties. septic pumping, inspection and riser installation, commercial septic pumping, grease trap services, porta potty rentals, and portable sink rentals too. Visit goebelseptic.com, Goebel septic.com, or call 360-736-2167. On the boys' side, the C2BL, Leighton Griffith scored 27 points to lead Napavine to a 59-49 win over Rainier. Dylan was there. How did the Tigers look?
They looked good when it was going through Leighton Griffith. That's kind of what I felt, and then that's also kind of what Caden Kelly echoed, the head coach echoed after the game. At times, their offense was kind of stagnant. I think it kind of kept them from building a bigger lead. And when they were working through the post with, Griffith either going to work in the post or just working inside out, it was super efficient. 27, and I think he shot like 12 of 18 or something like that. So it was, not only was he scoring in bunches, it was super efficient. And Kelly afterwards was like, probably should have taken more shots, and we probably could have got the ball to him even more, because that's what was working. And I think that's something you could duplicate down the line too. Rainier, I thought, played pretty well. I mean, considering the final score, obviously it's not a win, but outside of Griffith, they were able to somewhat keep down that Napavine, that high-powered Napavine offense. Peyton Schaefer, I was trying to get to load. I couldn't remember exactly what he finished with. I think it was somewhere in the low 20s. He's come along really nicely and kind of been their driving force. If he's not a first-team All-League guy, I'd be surprised.
He'll be a first-team All-League
for sure. Guy. And I mentioned it earlier. I mentioned earlier, like, how can we become our best version of ourselves before districts? That's what Ben Schaefer told me after the Rainier coach. Basically, not exactly that, but I paraphrased a little bit. And so he wasn't, upset or anything about the final result, but that was basically the mindset of, we're going to take what worked here and we're going to fix what didn't, and just keep chipping away at things.
All right. At 10-2 in league play, the Tigers are 2 games back of first place Adna and 1 game back of second place Toledo. Napavine plays in Adna tonight with a chance to hand the Pirates their first league loss. I'm sure the game will probably have started by the time anybody listens to this, but
probably.
Any predictions?
Give me Adna
okay.
at home.
Yeah.
All right. Well, great.
I can't wait for people to listen to this after Napavine wins.
Below that top 3, Ani's in 4th at 8-7, Rainier's 6-7, Tootle Lake and Mossy Rock are in 7th and 8th at 5 wins apiece. Winlock and Morton White Pass are both 1-12 and split their 2 matchups.
I'm not sure what the tiebreaker is for those two.
They're going to play. They're going to play a third game.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, if it's a winner goes to districts, they'll play it out.
Yeah,
awesome.
because there's no pigtail for the boys, so whoever wins that will be the 8th place, and they'll play the 3rd place team for first round of districts.
All right, in the EvCo, currently a 2-team race at the top and a 2-team race for the pigtail spot. Tumwater is unbeaten at 7-0 and has won 15 in a row. They're 1 game ahead of 6-1 Black Hills. They meet again on Friday. Any predictions there? How'd the first one go?
First one was a really good game. Tumwater won by 6. I think 58-52 was the final. And that was it. That was in Tumwater. The 15 straight wins breaks the school record for most consecutive wins. The previous was 13, I think 10 years ago, maybe. Tumwater's just, they're playing really well, but at some point they're going to catch a loss. So I think it might be Friday. I think Black Hills takes them the second time around. I don't think they're going to go into districts like 17 straight wins, because I don't know. You gotta pick up a loss every once in a while to humble yourself.
You need a quality loss.
You do need a quality loss.
Gotta put that on the resume.
That would probably lift your RPI ranking, honestly, because your opponent win percentage goes up. No, I think I'm also going to go Black Hills here. Not as a knock to Tumwater, but I do think that these 2 teams are pretty even for the most part. And I think, if I remember correctly, last year they both finished 9-1. They split their 2 meetings, and Black Hills won the tiebreaker. It was like point differential against common opponents or something like that. I could see it coming down to that again this year.
All right. Yeah, Tumwater finishes with, the Black Hills game Friday, and then they've got Aberdeen and Shelton. And you think either Black Hills, Aberdeen, or Shelton is going to hand them a loss?
I think Black Hills will.
If it's not Black Hills, it's not.
Yeah, well, that's the
It's
thing.
at Black Hills, yeah.
Yeah, boy, yeah.
I think that's one of just.
I don't know.
those-
Aberdeen is that one in Aberdeen? Their meeting, their second meeting
is. Let me see. No, they're home with Aberdeen and Shelton.
Yeah, ooh, yeah, they
Yeah.
may. Yeah, if they win Friday, yeah, they're winning out.
All right. W.F West and Centralia are tied for the fourth and final postseason spot, but the Bearcats currently hold the tiebreaker thanks to a head-to-head win. Second Swamp Cup game is Friday, February 6th, and that could determine who makes the district tournament altogether. Who gets that final spot?
Boy, that is something that's going to come. It could come down to second Swamp Cup for the district, for that final pigtail spot. If you had told me that at the start of the year, I'd been like, okay, how high are you, and where can I get
drug
some?
tested? Yeah.
History says WF West. Isn't that second meeting in Centralia though?
No,
It's
the
in
first one
W.
was in Centralia,
Mm.
and Centralia did keep it close for a bit, but then WF West ended up pulling away and winning by
I just
20, give or take.
I think the experience, even though it's not the most experienced WF West team, I think that they're probably I probably give them the slight edge. Probably they could win by like maybe 10 or 12 at home, but I bet Centralia keeps it competitive because Centralia, if they're playing for their postseason lives and it's WF West, they'll get up for that game.
Yep. And we've seen guys like Johnny Ruiz, kind of take over. He had 20 something. I forget which game it was, but I think he had 25 last week in a game.
Caden Young can
Caden
also
Young can
go
get
off.
hot.
Yeah.
Um,
Trevor Griffiths can get hot. Yeah.
Definitely wouldn't surprise me, especially, if potential postseason spots on the line, Swamp Cup, like this could be, I don't know about a changing of the guard necessarily, but it could be, a statement win. But I do give the edge to WF West at home.
They are number 42 and number 43 in the RPI rankings, separated by .0013 points.
Wow.
Yeah. So, something to think about. Or maybe it's not. I don't know. And a quick check-in.
I've thought about it. Next. No, I'm kidding.
Quick check-in on the 1Bs. PL's 4-2 and in third in the Columbia Valley League. Oakville's 3-5 and in fourth, which are both playoff spots as of now. They play for the first time this season on Thursday.
Yeah, I'm assuming those are playoff spots because it actually says Firm Foundation is in first place in both in the league, but they've only played
two
one
games.
one or two
Are
games.
we
Yeah.
even sure Firm Foundation is a real school?
No.
Has anybody ever seen
No,
any evidence
no one
they
has.
exist?
No one has confirmed nor denied that Firm Foundation is real.
Has South Whidbey played Firm Foundation?
South
Can we
Whidbey's
set that up?
South Whidbey's too good for
Don't
Firm
care.
Foundation.
Let's get.
Yeah, South would be our heroes. This podcast brought to you by Elam's Home Furnishings and Sleep Center. And yeah, they've still got their sweet deals on Synchrony home stuff going on. Promotional financing is available.
No Valentine's Day. No Valentine's specials.
The Serta Eye Comfort collection has two very happy-looking people hanging out together, looking at a photo album, a real flipbook photo album on a mattress that does not have a fitted sheet upon it.
Oh,
And you know what? It kind of reminds me of college a little bit. Although my mattress was nowhere near as nice as the Serta Eye Comfort collection.
I still do. I don't do that, but like I get the urge, right? Like my wife's like, like you wash the sheets and they're in the dryer, and you're like, dang, I don't want to do this, and then your wife's like, let's do it. So shout out to my wife. Otherwise, I'd be sleeping on a mattress without a fitted sheet.
the amount of times that Skylar and I have slept on our bed without our fitted sheet is.
Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do.
Like,
I'm not getting the fitted sheet out of the dryer at 2 a.m.
no.
I'm just gonna lay down.
I mean, you could plan that out a little bit, so it's not coming out of the dryer at 2 a.m.
There you are wrongfully assuming that I remembered that I'm the one who put. Like I did it like 6 hours before at a reasonable time.
Correct.
Rushing into the bedroom. What the hell?
A reasonable, responsible adult would be like, "Oh, the dryer just went off, and your timer to do the laundry is going off. You should do the laundry." But instead, I get distracted by the great deals at Elam's and forget to put my.
They've got a 14-inch thick eye comfort mattress. It's enhanced level 2. It includes all the benefits of level 1, plus 2 inches of graphite-infused perfect conform memory foam.
Graphite.
For
What's
a
that do?
Cooler, deeper, more restorative sleep. Cooling upgrades available. Also available in plush. You know what? Sometimes you need that plush finish when you just can't get the fitted sheet
get
out of
your-
the dryer.
If it plush finish, I'd probably get rid of all my fitted sheets. Sounds like a win-win.
Graphite,
sheets.
graphite and
infused.
plush.
Is that what you said? That sounds
Graphite
awesome.
infused, perfect conform memory foam.
That sounds way too fancy for me to be
Every
honest.
day I learn like so many things are possible in this world.
Yeah.
Like somebody saw a pencil and they were like, "Man,
You can
I
write
wish
with
I could
that.
sleep on that." Yeah.
Or that too.
that's-
I guess that too.
That's
What
probably
if
how it
we
went
took
down.
that and put it in a mattress?
Absolutely.
Blows my mind.
All right. So Elam's Home Furnishings is located at 1530 South Gold Street in Centralia. You can check out all their sweet deals and specials at elamshf.com. Dylan, do you have a bowling update? What's going on? I saw Rochester did some winning.
They did. They won their regular season finale against Centralia on Monday, and yesterday they won the Evergreen League tournament. I'm not sure the last time somebody other than W.F West won that.
Where was that at Fairway Lands
That
too?
was at
Where was
Fairway
that?
Yeah, it was a fairway.
So Rochester won the team. They finished first in the team rankings and team standings. They scored 3,000 points on the dot, which, if I remember correctly, was 118 more than W.F West and 150 more than Centralia, who took second and third. Natalie Southard won the individual title almost by 100, if I remember correctly. I think she finished somewhere around the 607 ballpark. They'll compete at districts next week, and if the last week's been any indication, they'll perform well and send some kids to state.
All right. Zach, do you have a wrestling roundup?
I do. Centralia, both boys and girls, were at the Kalama Rubber Chicken, which we have decided is the best name for a wrestling tournament.
Dylan hates it.
He does hate it.
He
but
was just livid.
I think he's coming around to it.
I am. I think I was being a bit of a Scrooge when I was complaining. I don't remember what happened, but I think I was in a bad mood when I read that text because I thought it was too goofy.
He realized the
but-
Chiefs aren't in the Super Bowl, and he got upset.
So mad.
Oh, man.
Well, your personal hero, Robert Kraft, didn't make the Hall of Fame. You were very worked up about that, too, right?
Bill
Belichick.
Bill Belichick, also Dylan's personal hero.
Yeah.
Centralia performed well at the Kalama Rubber Chicken. Benito Escalera is now 32-1. He hasn't lost in a month for the Centralia boys. Hunter Vanderhoff got second. Zachary King also got second. For the girls, Ramona Reinitz got placed high. So did Ava Reinitz. Ramona Reinitz won, actually. And that's an interesting story because she had she had surgery during the soccer season, and there were talks. I remember her dad telling me, he was like, I don't know if she's going to wrestle, but then in my head, I'm like, she's going to wrestle because she's a Reinitz.
Did you move a file over?
And she's
yeah,
like,
I'm looking through. I'll get to it in a minute.
she's a Reinitz, and she's crazy for wrestling, and she'll get back on the mat. And she's wrestled 3 tournaments, and that was her first win. Cassidy Davis for Adna also won at the Rubber Chicken tournament.
She like an 8th grader?
8th grader, yeah. She's really good.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
She's 30-2, I believe. I think she's a favorite to win at Matt Classic. In a month, Matt Classic's in a month. Holy hell!
I wonder. This is way premature and like a long-term thing to keep an eye on. Aaron, do you know this? Have we ever had any 5-time state placers
Placers?
at
Oh,
Classic?
I can't remember too many 8th graders that have
placed? and then
like placed or
also
even been to Matt
continued?
Classic or
Yeah.
anything. So yeah, I wouldn't say so, but
Yeah, that's obviously a
Well,
pretty
there's a
premature
list
statement.
of
but
there's a list of place winners on the WIA website.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's in the archives somewhere. Yeah, it was a good wrestling weekend. There were a couple others. The WF West had their home invite. Ray Scalisi and Grayson Searle won for WF West, and they had a handful of others placed in the top 5. Trying to think of other girls' results. None of them are coming off the top of my head. I can't remember all the boys' ones either, but it was a good weekend. District League EvCo championships are next Saturday. The winners and the runner-ups automatically go to Matt Classic. And then the 3rd through 5th place finishers will, from the EvCo and the Greater St. Helens League, will wrestle in a crossover tournament at WF West on February 11th. Those winners go to Matt Classic. And then for the girls, their district tournament is on February 14th at Black Hills, and the top 7 wrestlers will qualify for Matt Classic.
all right. This podcast is brought to you by Americool Heating and Cooling. Your comfort is their business. Full service HVAC installation services and repair with a full 100% satisfaction guarantee on everything they do. Visit west.americoolonline.com to learn more about everything they have to offer.
RPI talk?
Yeah, we better do some RPI talk just real quick.
Oh,
We hinted at a little bit of it, but in the 2As, and this is
Are these fresh?
girls.
Are these up? Are these fully? These are new
These
ones,
are up
correct?
to date. I don't know.
I think they're. Yes, they
obviously, I only check RPIs once a week. I'm not sitting at home on Sunday afternoon being, oh my God, did they get the new Clarkson score uploaded yet?
This is also the once a week I check.
I think
So,
these are updated.
2A girls, Linden number 1, Deer Park 2, W.F West 3.
Ooh,
pretty
they
good.
moved up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Before last week.
Anything else notable? I don't know. Ellensburg 11, Tumwater 15.
Mark Morris 16.
Yeah, so WF West in pretty good shape there. In the 1As, Linden Christian's number 1. I was looking at, where is Clarkston? Oh, Clarkston's 4. Clarkston beat WF West too, didn't they? On the girls' side.
Yes.
And
I
it
think
was
it was early this season.
It was, they played them, back on December 5th and beat them 84-56. So there's some food for thought. I bet WF West wants another shot at them, another crack at them, another crack at the Bantams.
Tenino 44 in 1A, Rochester 47, and our beloved South Whitby 27th.
Oh, it's just get them a little higher. They're 7 and 8. Come on, that's damn near 500. In the 2Bs, number 1 remains Adna. Pretty good. Some say the best.
Number 2.
Number 2 is Napavine. This is girls, yeah.
Yeah.
Napavine's number 2, Brewster 3, Reardon 4, Ani 8, Toledo 11, Raymond South Bend 12.
Tootle 5.
Oh, yeah, Tootle Lake 5. So, yeah, a lot of local representation there. And then in the 1Bs, what do we got? ASL 13, PL 20.
PL moving up.
Yep, we're
Yeah,
getting
they
there.
would. Yep.
On the boys' side, in the 2As, Tumwater is number 2, 16 and 1. They trail only RA Long.
I think that was the same last week. That's
going to be a fun district title if it is.
Yeah, if it gets there.
Yeah, it could be.
I don't know. Does RA Long need a quality loss, though? People are talking.
Woodland's 5, though, and Woodland's also been playing really well this year.
Okay.
Real quick, while we're talking about teams from the South, Ruben and I were looking at comparing last year's GHL standings to this year, and we're like, well, there's 2 really good teams atop the GHL this year, but last year there was 3. And we looked at Mark Morris last year, went 22 and 5, I think. This year, I think they're at 5 or 6 wins. They lost. I forgot how much
they lost everybody.
Literally everybody.
Yeah. And
That
RA
is
Long
insane.
didn't lose. Yeah, RA
Mark
Long
Morris
didn't lose much.
can't have had a losing season in like 30 years.
Yeah, I couldn't believe. I mean, the numbers make sense when you like break it down like that, but it's just shocking to see them having.
Yeah, Mark Morris is
so many
5
losses.
and 13.
It's crazy.
Jeez.
Yeah, that's a fall. Yeah, I knew they lost. Pretty much everyone.
Last
but
year's roster was just 12, 12, 12, 12, 12. I was like, oh my gosh.
All right. In the 1As, Zilla still number 1, Linden Christian number 2. Where did Tenino and Rochester go? Tenino 52, Rochester 54.
South would be 28. 10 and 6. Come on.
What the hell?
So many quality losses.
I'm tired of this. I'm tired of the South would be slander.
Yeah, rude. In the 2Bs, Colfax number 1, Northwest Christian Colbert number 2. They're both 17 and 0. How do you guys feel about that?
Good for Colfax. They're. I know this is happening. It's going to happen tonight. But Adna and Napavine are called to wear purple because a Colfax boys basketball coach is battling cancer. So that'd be cool if Colfax were to go all the way. It's a little sentimental story for them.
Yeah, that's the group that I can't remember his first name. I believe his last name is Jenkins, the coach at Colfax.
Yes.
Luke was telling me that he started coaching like this group, and he's been coaching them really since they were in like kindergarten, first grade. And he's, from what I could hear, he's trying to be on the bench. There's nights where he is on the bench and can do a little bit of coaching. Obviously, some days are better than others, but Salmi and Casey Dotson, they both known him for a long time, so they wanted to try to see if they could do something to raise funds and show support. So,
that is
cool
cool
thing tonight in Adna.
Speaking of Adna, Adna is number 5 at 15 and 2. Napavine's 9 and Toledo's 10. Then you've got, then it drops down for local teams. Forks 20.
Alaska 26 and Rainier 27.
Yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see Colfax Northwest Christian in the finals or Tri-City. Oh, Tri-City's perhaps
18
and 1 too.
Okanagan 13 and
they're good at everything.
yeah. Okanagan is real. They're still really tall, so they're going to give some fits too. And Liberty Bell's just Toledo lost to Liberty Bell by 10, I think, and that's always a feisty group.
What was your prediction that we'd see 2 C2BL teams in the state championship? And
that was Rubes. That was Rubes' hot take.
Okay.
That we'd see one team.
Oh yeah, foist on our Rubes, who wasn't here to defend himself.
Ilwaco 8. Are the fishermen? Are they frauds?
13 and 2?
Are they frauds?
Hold on. We simply must investigate the schedule.
Zach never hesitates to just dump on Ilwaco.
Okay, well they've lost to Wakaikam.
Zach just doing his best Nick Shirley impersonation here.
So they
showing
lost
up at their school. Show me the frauds.
They lost to Wakaikam by 8 and Kingsway Christian by 18.
This is not inspiring confidence.
And then they've beaten everyone else by double digits.
They beat Bossy Rock by 6. PL by 40. What in the hell is going on with this team? Beat Tootle by 20. God, they haven't lost since.
They haven't lost since my birthday.
They haven't lost 12th. This year?
No, they have not lost this year.
Wow.
Yeah, no, they're frauds.
Wait, what? They've only lost 2 games according to this?
Wakaikam and Kingsway Christian.
Started 0-2 and they've won.
Their team photo last year was just them in a boat for the baseball team.
That's pretty sick. Let's see. They got a kid named Haddix Hazen.
Baller.
Oh, wait, isn't that
cool name?
Baller.
Isn't that the dude that pitched in the district title game? Yeah.
I just leaned into the mic too far. Yeah, really good baseball player.
All right. So, Ilwaco, put them on your radar. Maybe there's something there. Maybe not. I don't know.
A lot of fish.
And then in the 1Bs, Wakaikam's number 4.
They're playing Toledo tonight in 30 minutes.
Okay. Maybe they won't be number 4 after that. We'll wait and see. And then Toledo's 28. So, yeah.
Toledo or?
PL.
PL.
Oh, PL.
All right. And then we also must mention the farm store. They've still got their January doorbuster deals going on. You know what, guys? You can get a 1-gallon all-purpose cleaner bucket of Simple Green, only $11. You know what you can clean up with that? Everything.
The graphite from my mattress.
Yeah.
If the graphite spills over.
For $25, you can get a 13-inch razor tooth pruning saw. You can cut down some trees,
Sure.
Big pack of hand warmers. I know you guys they're Grabber brand hand warmers. I know you guys love your Grabbers. They got some pruning shears. Ooh, you get a 48-inch roll of poultry netting, 50 feet's worth, only $50. You could
that's $1 per foot.
You could build a nice little corral for the boy. A lot of fun with that. Or you can just even better 20-gallon heavy-duty tub, $17.
Hey, speaking of which,
throw a bunch of you can make a ball tub out of that, 20 gallons.
Yeah. Pretty sick. What are you looking for the ad?
That'd actually be sick. Lauren and I have talked about getting a ball pit for him.
Yeah,
but that one's a little it's kind of tall, but it could work.
It'd be fine. Yeah, let him flop around in there. Why not?
Have you fully given up on your owl box, by the way?
The owl box is still out there. I don't think there's an owl in it, and there's starting to be some moles around where the owl box is. So, things aren't going as well as I'd hoped. But
boy, the guy in the bar that told you to build this owl box was lying to you? No.
The real fun was the real adventure was the fun I had along the way, building the owl box and talking about the owl box and just becoming an owl box guy.
It's about the journey.
You know what? Maybe this summer or maybe this spring I'll get an owl in there. We'll see.
Okay.
And when it turns to September, you know what you'll say? You could look at it and go, "There's always next summer."
Yeah, absolutely. Having an owl box is kind of like owning a boat, where half the fun is just telling people you have an owl box.
Yeah, like Wayne saying yesterday on News Dump that he has his boat and he sleeps sometimes in it.
He sometimes goes down to the boat and sleeps in it.
I would too. You don't need to have a boat though. You just need to know someone with a boat.
Well, I mean, maybe not for just taking a nap on the boat, hanging out on the weekends. But you're like, hey man,
it depends on how close you are with this person.
Why don't we go down to your boat and take a nap? They're like, no, you weird. You
well, he doesn't have to come with. I could just go.
You
trust me with the boat.
All right, Swamp Cup shootoff is our last topic. Well, second to last topic. Rifle clubs met Centralia Shayless over at the Centralia Rifle Club.
Yeah.
And they did some shooting.
Yeah,
and I understand they're not shooting at each other.
Correct.
Right.
They line up targets.
Just want to be sure.
Yeah, cool setup they have there. Club rifle teams, not a officially sanctioned sport, but that hasn't stopped them from competing. From my understanding, most of the time over the years, whoever has wanted to shoot, like, be a part of the rifle club from Centralia has just joined the W.F West team because there hasn't been enough numbers. But this year, through kind of an effort to publicize and get participation, they're up to 16 kids, and they were able to field their own team. This was actually the two teams' third meeting of the season, but it's the first one. I love this about high school sports where they're just like, we should have a plaque.
Yeah,
and then they get a plaque, and then they play for the plaque.
Hell yeah.
And that's so WFS won the first. Yeah, they shoot for the plaque, and so WFS won this first official Swamp Cup shoot-off meeting. They'll get their name on that plaque. It'll go up in the rifle club, is my understanding. If not, the WFS trophy case, maybe both. I'm not sure where it's going to go. But
this is at Thorbeck's, right? Is where they shoot at?
It's next to the Thorbeck's pool.
Okay.
Yeah,
but I don't think it's a Thorbeck's thing, but it's next to that.
No, I want to say
Or
the
is it a Thorbeck's?
city parks owns it. Maybe I'm not sure, but I don't think it's a Thorbeck's thing. I've been in there years ago, 20 years ago. I did a story on a pistol shooting club thing in there. But yeah, it's cool that we've got that right in town.
Yeah.
So, all right, and then our last item, we simply must talk about Super Bowl 60. Are we up to 60 already?
We
Is
are
that
up
what
to
this
60.
is?
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
So yeah, everybody hates the Chiefs so much. You get the Patriots again. Good job, everyone. I'm really happy.
What a run the Patriots have had of just lucking into bullshit to get to the Super Bowl.
Amen.
The one almost decent team they play, and that team's
quarterback
decent,
breaks his ankle.
Passable,
and then it becomes like a blizzard in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. Just every break they could possibly get. Patriots are back, baby.
Seahawks are going to win by 20 plus. They're going to obliterate them.
The line is only 4.5 in that game.
It's got to just be
shocking.
because it's the Super Bowl.
Yeah, there's no way. I don't bet because I guarantee you I'd be horrible at it. But I would play.
But here's what I think would happen.
But here's what I would definitely take the points and sprinkle in some Seahawks money line there.
Yeah, that Seahawks game was awesome. All these McVay Shanahan guys. I saw a cumulative EPA graph for special teams over the last handful of years, and it's the Niners, Packers,
and the
Rams all at the bottom, and it's
the Shanahan guys do not
they
give a
hate
shit
special
about
teams, and
special
it costs
teams.
them 99% of the time. The only exception being the 2021 Rams when Aaron Donald was just like, "Oh yeah, I'm really good at football, and I'm just gonna destroy any hope you have."
Yeah.
So yeah, Seahawks. We'll do another pod before that, I'm sure. But
do you think even
cool
if
to
the
see them
Seahawks win the Super Bowl, there will be discussions this summer about are we sure Darnold's the guy?
No,
maybe
look as a Sam Darnold skeptic, and I've said this several times, just in talking, and wait until the bad game. No, he's just good. 2 straight years of doing this, he's good, and he's turned his career around, whether he wins or loses.
I do think it's very symbolic. We got a poor baby Sam Darnold in 2019 getting caught mic'd up saying, "I'm seeing ghosts" against the Patriots. And obviously this isn't the same Patriots team, but it'll kind of complete his mini revenge tour too.
Also, you know who this is a win for? Zach Wilson. If Sam Darnold, this is a win for Zach Wilson
and Justin Fields.
Yeah.
Well, no,
it's not Justin Fields' fault. They fired all the coordinators. That's
Justin Fields was in Chicago and New York. Let's get this guy to a real organization.
Okay, listen here, buddy.
Chicago's a real organization now, but when Justin Fields was there, it was a little iffy.
Where are you guys at on the Steelers hiring Mike McDonald? What a just uninspiring
Mike
McCarthy. Yeah. What an uninspiring hire.
It's going to be even more uninspiring when they bring Rodgers back at age 42.
Yeah.
It's
the standard is the standard, gentlemen.
Here's the thing, there's nothing bad. There's nothing wrong with being bad. And I guarantee you a lot of Steelers fans would want to be bad for a year or two just to get a quarterback. Because that's the one thing that's held them back is quarterback play.
Yeah.
Just get a premium draft pick to get a young quarterback and build around the roster.
Just be like the Patriots where you get a
bottom
top
out
pick
for 5 years,
and then all of a sudden you're back in the Super Bowl.
Yes.
Yes.
Shout out the AFC. 9 of the last 10 Super Bowl representatives have been the Chiefs or Patriots, and the only one that wasn't was that Bengals team.
Oh, yeah, the Bengals team. Forgot about the Joe Burrow year.
The one Joe Burrow year. And he's been not back since. I'm in the playoffs. Or hasn't been in the playoffs the last 2 years.
All right. Anything you guys are looking forward to this weekend, game-wise? Or the rest of the week?
Toledo Napavine boys and girls have a doubleheader on Saturday. Tumwater Black Hills. Is that a doubleheader Friday, I think?
Yeah.
Or at least the boys are playing.
No, the girls are playing.
I'm sure it's a doubleheader.
It's a doubleheader, yeah. Which the girls' game has some implications. Like if Tumwater wins, they're automatically the 2 seed. So a win clinches the 2 seed for them for districts.
The next Saturday starts districts. Outside of there's like the 2B pigtails on Thursday, but the first chunk.
Yeah, the first full day of districts is on February 7th.
Oh,
and it's
if
a sprint.
someone from a 2A school could explain to me why their conference champion or district champion stuff was moved to the Saturday, that'd be great. That's tough, but
like all the district
it's
stuff.
not on Friday anymore.
Yeah, it's all because it's all going to be in Kelso now. Like all of it is. It's all Kelso. So the third place games, which are meaningful now with 3 district bids, that's in the afternoon, and then both title games are Saturday night. So all in Kelso, and then all the 2Bs back in Chehalis.
Okay. We can wrap it up there, and we'll talk to you next week where we will still be previewing the Super Bowl, hopefully.